Hi dear students, how was your exams? Hope that all the exams were easy. And today we are going to learn a new lesson written by R.K. Narayan. It is a short story written by R.K. Narayan. And the name of the story it is A Horse and Two Goats. You can take Treasure Trove page number 51. And I just want to inform you one thing that you have to regularly follow the classes and you have to watch the video, and this story it is little bit long. Okay, the story is very long. Then also you can study this story, and it is very interesting and it is very easy one. And before attending the class also you can just once go through the story and read the story and just note the points which you didn't understand. Then you watch the video very carefully, then it will be easy for you. And since it is a very long story, it will take some time to finish this story, but keep watching the video every day. And already I had said before the exams, I had said that many of you are not watching the videos and getting less marks. So at least this time you start to watch and understand the things, otherwise you are not going to get anything. Only once you watch the videos and attend the class and follow the classes, then only you will get new ideas and you will understand the story or poem or the Merchant of Venice. Otherwise it will be hard for you at the time of exam. So make sure that you follow the classes and reading the textbook provided to you. Okay, you can go through the workbook and textbook and make it clear, and if there is any doubt you can contact me also. And today we are going to start our discussion on short story number 3, A Horse and Two Gods, written by R.K. Narayan. Take page number 51. In page number 51 we will get a brief idea about the author of the story, R.K. Narayan. Then after discussing about that we will just go with the story discussion. So take page number 51. R.K. Narayan was an Indian writer who is best remembered for his stories set in the fictional South Indian town of Malgudi. It is a fictional South Indian town of Malgudi. That means from his imagination, he imagined about a particular village that is called Malagudi, and his stories are connected or set in that fictional village. And about his stories, Narayan's style is very simple, easy and unpretentious, and his stories explore with humor and compassion the everyday lives of ordinary people. So the speciality of the stories of R.K. Narayan, it is very simple and unpretentious. Unpretentious means unpleasant. Unpretentious means pleasantly simple. The stories are very simple and it is connected with the ordinary life of people, the common people. With the humor and compassion, he writes his stories. And about this story, now we will see. The story which we are going to see is the edited version of the original story. And here in this story, the author describes about the things that happens when an American person meets an illiterate South Indian who has never stepped outside his village. What all other events took place during the meeting of an American with the illiterate Indian. And here in this story, the foreigner with his English baffled by the incomprehensible and bizarre behavior of Muni. Baffled means confused. He is speaking English, the foreigner is speaking English, and by the incomprehensible. Incomprehensible means Muni is not able to understand the language spoken by the American person, and bizarre behavior of Muni. That means a strange behavior of Muni. So here the American or the foreigner speaks in English and he is totally confused by the response of Muni. And the same way, Muni, who knows only Tamil, and he communicates in Tamil with the English or the foreigner. Muni, while
Muni is equally mystified. Mystified here means confused by the Americans' strange words and antics. That means antics means the amusement, the behavior which causes amusement. So total confusion we can notice here. The American, he is not able to understand Muni's language and Muni's behavior. And the same way, Muni also can't understand the words of the Americans, and he also feels confused about the strange behavior of American. And here the simplest setting is used by the author, and by using the simplest setting, he make a sensitive amusing story. And here he makes a sensitive yet amusing story rich in situational comedy. So the setting, it is very simple, but the message the story gives is very great, and he made an amazing story by using the simple setting. For more details about the author, you can refer your workbook. And as I told earlier, this story, it is a misunderstanding between an American and an illiterate South Indian villager. And here in this story, the main characters are Muni and one American traveler and Muni's wife. And here in this story, we can find out the theme of the story. It is a clash between two cultures. Two cultures means Western culture and the Indian culture. It is a clash between, it highlights the clash between two cultures, that is the American culture and the Indian culture. And it is a clash between two religious ideologies. The American, he follows the Christianity, and the Indian person, he follows Hindu religion. And it is a clash between languages. American speaks English, and on the other hand, this poor Tamil, the villager Muni, he speaks Tamil. And it is about the class also. Class in the sense, American, he belongs to rich category, and the Muni, he is a poor villager. So you can find out many clashes in the story. So that you can find out when we discuss the story. And even the theme is given in your textbook, in your workbook. You can just go through that one. So it is a clash between two different cultures, Western and Indian, and two religions, Christianity and Hindu, and two classes, rich and poor. Then two languages, Tamil and English. The setting of the story. The story is set in a small village in Tamil Nadu, that is Kridam. The setting of the story is in Kridam, a small village in Tamil Nadu, and the very title of this story is very suitable for this story, because the entire story revolves around a horse, the statue of a horse, and two gods, and the conversation between Muni and American traveler. So the title is very suitable for this story, and the author, he uses very simple language, and it is used in the third person narration. And the realism is used in this story because the conversation, it is something connected with the ordinary life of a poor villager, and we can find the humor in this story which is connected with the real life of human beings. So that is all about the story. For more details, you can refer there in the workbook. The details about the setting, the style, the themes, and the critical appreciation is given there. And if there is more doubt, you can just clarify with me later. So now we will start our chapter discussion. A Horse and Two Gods by R.K. Narayan. As I told that the main character in this story, it is Muni, and in the first passage of the story we will get a clear idea about the village of Muni and the condition of the village. And from the first paragraph itself we will understand the condition, the financial background of Muni and family. So we will start our chapter discussion. Of the 7,000 villages dotting the map of India, Kridam was probably the tiniest, indicated on the district survey map by a microscopic dot. But its size did not prevent its giving itself a grandiose name, Kridam, which meant in Tamil coronet or crown on the brow of this subcontinent. So from the first lines itself we will understand the village is very small. And even though the village is very small, it has got a grandiose name. Grandiose name means very impressive name. It has got an impressive name. And the very word meaning of freedom, it is coronet or crown. Okay, in Tamil, the freedom when it is converted to any other languages or English, the meaning it is crown. So even though the village is very small, the very name of this particular village, it is something very grandiose, very impressive one, and it is considered as the crown on the brow of this subcontinent. And the village consisted, we will get a picture of the village here. The village consisted of less than 30 houses. In the village only 30 houses are there, and among these houses only one of them built with brick and cement. 30 houses only there in this village, and among these 30 houses only one house it is built with brick and cement. So the poor condition of the village we can understand from these lines. Now we will see about the house which is built with brick and cement. It is painted a brilliant yellow and blue all over with gorgeous carvings of gods and gargoyles on its balustrade. It was known as the big house. So the very characteristics of this big house, it is painted with a brilliant yellow and blue all over the gorgeous carvings. Gorgeous means very lovely carvings of gods and gargoyles. That means the carved animals and human beings. Gargoyles means the carved animals and human beings. On its balustrade, that means the pillars, on its pillars, it was known as the big house. The speciality of the house, it is yellow color and blue color, and there were many carvings. And the other houses, what is the speciality of the other houses? The other houses distributed in 4 streets were generally of bamboo thatch, straw, mud and other unspecified material. Except this one big house, all other houses are built with bamboo or thatch, mud or some other materials. And Muni's was the last house in the 4th street, beyond which stretched the field. Now we will get the idea about the house. The speciality of the house of Muni also it is saying the house is built with the thatch, mud or some other materials. Only one good house is there, and that belongs to someone else, and all others, their houses are built with the mud, thatch or straw, bamboos and some other materials. And where the house of Muni is located, it is in the 4th street beyond which stretched the fields, and after that there is no houses. In his prosperous days, now we will get an idea about the past life of Muni, what he was in the past. In his prosperous days, Muni had owned a flock of 40 sheep and goats and sallied forth every morning, driving the flock to the highway a couple of miles away. So in the past he was having many sheep or goats, owned a flock of 40 sheep and goats and sallied. It means depart. So in every morning he departed from his house to the highways in order to feed his flock. That means he was having 40 flocks of sheep and goats, and he used to depart from his house every morning in order to feed these animals. And what he used to do when he departs with his animals, he used to do, there he would sit on the pedestal of a clay statue of a horse while his cattle gazed around. He carried a crook at the end of a bamboo pole and snapped foliage from the avenue trees to feed his flock. And he also gathered fagots and dry sticks, bundled them, and carried them home for fuel at sunset. So, here in the prosperous day, he used to take his animals every morning, and once he started to feed them, he used to sit there on the pedestal, that means base of a clay statue of a horse, and after that he carried a crook, that means a stick with a bend on the top side, and with that one he snapped foliage from the avenue trees. He snapped, that means he in a way break the branches of the trees. Foliage means leaves of a plants. He used to break the branches of the some trees, avenue trees, to feed his flock. And he also gathered fagots, that means the sticks, the bundles of sticks and dry sticks, bundled them and carried them home for fuel at sunset. So from this first paragraph, you will get an understanding about the village called Kridam. And this story, as I told, it is set in a village called Kridam. And the very title of this village, it is Kridam, and it is the meaning of Kridam, it is crown. And in this particular village, only one house is the big one, and all other houses are made with thatch or mud or some other materials. And Muni, here in this paragraph again you can find out the condition, the past condition of Muni, and he was having a prosperous life earlier. He had 40 sheep and goats, and he used to take these animals every morning to the highway in order to the other side of the highway in order to feed them. And when he is out to feed the animals, he used to sit on the base of a statue of a horse, and he used to collect the leaves for the animals, and he used to collect the sticks, the dry sticks, in order to fuel in the evening. So the first paragraph gives the idea about the village. The next paragraph, it gives an idea about the activities of Muni's wife during the prosperous days, what she used to do earlier. His wife lit the domestic fire at dawn, boiled water in mud pot, threw into a handful of millet flour, added salt, and gave him his first nourishment for the day. So very morning she used to get up earlier and lit the domestic fire, and boiled the water in a mud pot, threw into a handful of millet flour, added salt, and give Muni a nourishment in the morning itself. And later, when he started out, that means when he started out in order to feed the animals, these 40 flocks, then she would put in his hand one more thing, a packed lunch. Once again, the same millet cooked into a little bowl which he could swallow with a raw onion at midday. So that was the thing she used to do during the prosperous days. She used to get up earlier, and she gave a nourishment to her husband. And after that, once he left, when he set out for feeding the animals, she used to give a packed lunch. The next paragraph, it speaks about the bad days in Muni's life, and here you will understand about his prosperous life that is already gone. His fortunes had declined gradually, unnoticed, from a flock of 40 which he drove into a pen at night. His store had now come down to the 2 goats which were tethered. Tethered means tied with a rope to the trunk of a drumstick tree which grew in front of his hut, and from which occasionally Muni could shake down drumsticks. So now all the prosperous days have gone. From 40 flocks, now he has got only 2 goats, and they are tied to a drumstick tree from which he used to get at least some drumsticks occasionally. And this morning he got 6. So the past life it is over, and we come to the present life. and the particular day he got six drumsticks from the tree to which these gods are attached or tied. He carried them in with a sense of triumph, although no one could say precisely who owned the tree. It was his because he lived in its shadow. So in the morning he got two drumsticks and he was very happy. He got six drumsticks and he was very happy. That is why all the users with the sense of triumph, that means with a great happiness, and no one was knowing about the owner of this drumstick tree, but Muni believes that is his tree. Why? Because he lives under the shadow of this. It was his because he lived in its shadow, because he lived under the shadow of this tree and he believed that tree belongs to him. So today it is enough for you, and the next day we will discuss about the rest of the story, and have a nice day. Please go through the workbook. There you will get an idea about the theme, the setting, the style of the story, and the first part of the story here in your treasure trove. From treasure trove, if you go through, you may please go through, and there the important point we discussed. We will get an idea about the village called Kiridam, the financial background of Muni, and we will get an idea about the big house in the village and other houses in the village, and the prosperous days of Muni and what he used to do during his prosperous days, and what his wife used to do during the prosperous days of Muni, and what is the present condition of Muni. These much things we discussed today. Please, you may go through.
Hope that all of you have watched the video. So here we discussed about the introduction and the first part of the story, and there you can find that there are new words. Some words are very new to you, and that words you just write down and study the meaning of that words, because that is very important. So go through the first part, the introduction part, and the first two paragraphs. Then in the coming classes we will discuss the rest of the story. Thank you. Have a nice day.